Hey guys, it's Micah. I'm here with a cosplay review for you today. This is Yae Miko from Genshin Impact, and this cosplay was sent to me by Lamail, I believe is how you pronounce it, Lamail Wigs. Just note that even though this cosplay was sent to me for free, everything I have to say about the cosplay is 100% my opinion. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If I have any issues with the cosplay, I will let you know. So when Lamail offered to send me a cosplay and wig for review, I picked Yae Miko solely for the fact that it's open back, meaning I don't have to worry about my shoulders not fitting into cosplays, because this is why I don't buy pre-made cosplays. These bad boys, yeah. I'm just so big and broad and buff that I don't fit into cosplays because of that. Sucks. So I picked Yae Miko. The cosplay itself runs for about $129 to about $130 US, and it comes with everything, like the accessories and the cosplay, everything but the shoes. Obviously, most cosplays don't come with shoes. And then the wig itself costs about $14-ish, which is an insanely good price. So I'm actually going to talk about the wig first, because that is my favorite part and the easiest part to talk about, and what Lamail is known for. They're called Lamail Wig. So they are predominantly a wig company. I had heard a lot of good things about them in the past. I've heard about them for years, but I've never actually bought one of their wigs before. So I was really excited to get this wig in the mail and see it, because I'm always looking for new places to get wigs. Because sometimes my go-tos don't have the characters I want. I usually get character wigs off of Amazon really quick if I just want to do like a cost test or something. And sometimes Amazon wigs are the most disgusting thing I have ever put my hands on. So for one, the wig fits amazingly. It's long in the back. It goes like all the way down to my waist and hips area. So it's a long pink wig. It has a skin top part up top, which I like. I don't really care in the long run, but it's nice. It looks really nice. The color is beautiful. It is a little almost too pink for me for Miko. I would have rather had a little bit more of a slightly desaturated version of this pink, but it's fine. It comes layered with tufts to make her ears, so if you don't want to have ears, you can style the wig to have ears. That's what I did because I wasn't about to make the wig. Sucrose wigs typically do this. I think they have a sucrose wig, and I believe it does this as well. So it has those tufts already pre-styled in. You just need to get them to stick up. It's not very shiny, which I like. There is a little bit of a shine to it, but I mean, I've gotten like higher quality wigs from like big name companies that were more expensive, like $40, and were shinier than this wig. Like, it's a pretty normal amount of shine for a wig. A little bit of hairspray when you style it will actually cut a lot of that shine. It took to styling beautifully. Originally, I wasn't gonna crimp it. As you can see, I did do the crimping method in order to style this wig. I don't do that with all of my wigs, and I wasn't going to do it with Miko because I wanted a little bit more of a natural look. However, in order to get these ears to stand up, crimping it plus a little bit of teasing was the best way to get them to actually stay. Like, these aren't going to fall down, and they also needed to hold up the earrings. So I wanted to make sure that they could stand on their own. I could have teased it plenty, but I didn't want to do that because I hate doing that. There's a little bit of teasing in here at the base just to kind of give it a little bit of a structure, but it's nothing crazy. But then I just decided, you know, I might as well crimp all of it, and I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks beautiful. Like I said, it was only $14 on their site, and go get their wigs. I'm literally about to like look at a bunch of their other character wigs, not just Genshin. They have like a bunch of other like character wigs as well, and I'm about to order some of these. Like, to order like a bulk of these, because it's a really nice wig. I'm sorry. Alright, next let's talk about the cosplay. I will insert some clips of details up closer. So it is, like I said, $129, which I think is a fairly fair price for a cosplay. If I'm being honest, $129 might be a little bit high. I'm not gonna argue, because $129 for an entire full garment is still like insanely cheap. and I'm not going to complain about that in the slightest. So I don't think it's the worst out there. There's some definitely that are more, and the overall quality I think is good enough to warrant that price. So it's all made out of like a synthetic material, like a polyester. However, it is not the most offensive polyester material I've ever felt. Most pre-made cosplays that are made out of cheap polyester are made out of those like really nasty, cheap, rough, you know, hold on. They're made out of like this kind of, it's made out of that cheap, nasty, scratchy, plasticky material that's just kind of disgusting. But this is not that. This is a lot softer. The lining is a lot softer too. It's actually a really nice lining. I'm kind of surprised. It's still very much just polyester though, and the entire cosplay is made out of that. There are some issues with everything being made out of polyester. I find when cosplays are made entirely out of polyester like this, they don't have a lot of give. There isn't a lot of it's harder to shape, and they tend to not look flattering on every body type because they're not meant to look flattering on every body type. These patterns have been drafted for like one body type. Not to say you can't alter and change things, but not everyone knows how to do that, and not everybody wants to do that. So that is unfortunately the case. Because I've seen some Miko cosplays where this brown part of the top, I've seen them made from other places out of like a stretchy material, the brown part at least, and I think that would have been nicer, but since this is all one big piece, I don't necessarily think that is the worst thing ever. But yeah, it's all polyester. It's all made out of the same material. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It's a little visually boring, but I'm the kind of person that likes lots of different textures in a costume, so that's just a me thing. That doesn't have to be a you thing. It's still beautiful though. I guess I could start with the accessories. So all the accessories, like this piece right here, I don't know if you can see, sorry, it's kind of coming off. I won't lie. Here, let me just, this Velcro's on, by the way, which is kind of nice, so that way you could take it off to wash this piece. This little string piece is coming off. I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing. I think that's fine. So it's like craft foam that has been covered in a faux leather, which I think is nice. It's clearly been like laser cut. So I think that looks fine. The flower is a little It is literally a piece of craft foam that has been cut out in the shape of a sakura bloom, and then has, this is a fabric overlay with a gradient on it. I mean, it's fairly basic looking, but I mean, it works. And like I said, it just kind of Velcros on into the center like that. The head accessory is the same way. There is, let me actually just, so this is the headpiece, side that goes against the head, as you can see, because it just has a clip in it. I would have preferred 2 clips, maybe like along here. Wow, my camera won't focus. Yeah, I would have preferred 2 clips along here instead of this one down here. Because you've seen me probably, if I don't edit it out, you will see me constantly fiddling with it. Again, it's the same craft foam. Sorry, don't want my camera focusing on my face. It's the same craft foam covered in a faux leather, which I think is nice. There's nothing wrong with that. I might paint it to make it a little bit better. My gripe is this white part right here. I don't know if it's gonna pick up around some of these edges. It's very dirty looking, and I know it's not dirt at all. It's burn marks from the laser cutter, because all these pieces are laser cut. So I do think that's a little bit of an issue. It's not so bad, and a little bit of white paint could fix that, but oh, I never noticed. This piece is plastic, because I can tell, because there's some paint chipping right along here and a little bit of burn marks. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's just painted plastic. And there's this little dangly bit. We have the earrings on the side, which are just little earrings. They're the same leather whatever combo on a little clip-in earring, which I think is kind of dumb because she's got fox ears and is a fox and not a human, so you don't wear these like you would human earrings. They just have a rhinestone just kind of glued in the center and got a little fan charm kind of on the end. They don't have her vision on it. On the one on the side doesn't have her vision, I'm afraid. They're also kind of small compared to hers. I would have preferred to have them a little bit bigger. One of the rhinestone pieces having the vision on the side instead, since her earrings are her vision, and then just be on like little combs to like inset on the side even, something like that. But even then, even if these just were a little bit bigger, I think it could have been fine. That's kind of the most disappointing part, are the earrings. They're very small and they get lost in the wig a little bit easily. I think they could be a little bit bigger. I will talk about the sleeves next. When I first put these on, or like took them out of the bag, they looked way too small, because like I was expecting these big flowing sleeves, kind of like some of my other Genshin cosplays, like my Zhao cosplay. But then I looked at a picture of Miko, and I guess her sleeves really just aren't very big. It is synthetic, like I said. The details, all the flowers and stuff, and like the stitching on the top of the sleeve is printed on, which is fine. I'm not really somebody to complain about that. I think printed on looks just fine, because I mean the print is beautiful. It has this little knot piece with a tassel on the bottom with a rhinestone stuck on it. The rhinestones are kind of my least favorite part, because they're just kind of on there. The top has these looped bits. There's this loop that goes over. I'm a little confused about that piece. It's kind of strange how it attaches on here. And there's supposed to be like another gold piece with even the rhinestones on here, but they just have a little butterfly glued on. So it's not completely accurate. Like I said, there's these like larger golden, they kind of look like, not like these kind of like tied knots, kind of like that, but like if it was metal, that kind of shape with a red, or not a red, purple gem on the inside. So I'm kind of confused why they just went with a butterfly and didn't do something like this that just velcros on and off. I wonder, I'm kind of confused where the thought process was in that with the manufacturer. So there's just a little butterfly on there. I'm not entirely sure what that's about. There is elastic in the sleeve. Mine, however, is actually sliced a little bit. Unfortunately, these are not friendly for anyone with larger arms like me, so I simply just cut down in here. I'm gonna fix it later with some fabric, but for right now I just quickly sliced a little bit in there. You could also cut just the elastic, because I find with these kinds of sleeves sometimes the elastic is too tight, and if you take off the elastic you can get the sleeve on just fine, which I can, but it was just a little too tight and kind of uncomfortable for me, so I just sliced it open a little bit. That's not entirely the manufacturer's fault. To an extent, I will talk about that towards the end though. Same thing on the other sleeve, exact same thing. Cool sleeve, awesome. I wish it was, I don't know if hers stitches up all the way, but a lot of other like kimono sleeves, I don't know what you would kind of call this, they're usually stitched closed, or at least up to here, because then you can put stuff in here, because I actually have a lot of actual like kimono sleeves that do that, so because they're meant to be pockets, they're meant to be able to store stuff in there, and like that's like one of my favorite things about wearing like these kinds of sleeves is when they're stitched closed, so I don't have to worry about carrying my phone or my wallet, because I can just put it in my sleeve. So I wish that was a thing. I can actually stitch these closed, which I honestly might. So if I were ever to a con, I can just reach in and grab my stuff. We will talk about the lovely top. So this part just velcros around. There is this little string here that you can see. It's literally just a red string that goes under this cosplay. It's supposed to, I think, line up with this, but I don't know. It has a little then golden magatama made out of the same leather. Just kind of, you can't, I'm sorry, my wig is in the way, so you'll not be able to see it. The top does have these, you can kind of see it, there's some clear straps right about here, and that's to help keep the dress up in the back, because otherwise it does tend to fall down with the weight of all these tail tassel bits that we'll talk about in a second, and they just hook up on the neck. I originally wasn't gonna attach them because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna need it, but they really do help. Trust me, they do help. So I would recommend wearing them. The side cut is a little narrow. If you are on the bustier side like I am, I would heavily recommend getting one of those like sticky bras. I'm literally wearing one right now, that pull inward, because otherwise when I tell you I was about to like I would have gotten demonetized for that kind of content. That would have been a big no-no, but it'd be like that sometimes, unfortunately. But otherwise it's not so bad. So there's an obi belt. It's literally just a piece of fabric. Like, it's just a wide band that then velcros here in the front. These little flaps go right in front of it. All the other flaps go underneath it. It helps hold up the bow that goes in the back. I will talk about the bow here in a second, but it's got these little ribbon details that have little half pearls on them. There's lace at the top, but because of how my body is shaped, it's gonna roll down. We've got these flaps. There is 4 flaps here. There's 2 flaps underneath, and then 2 more flaps. More printed detail. All of this is all printed, and then more of these little tassel bits with the rhinestones. And then we've got 2 big red flaps in the front. These ones have different tassel pieces. They've got a little fabric X piece and then 3 tassels, which for some reason have 3 different colors. It's like 2 dark reds and a bright red. I'm kind of confused why they're 3 different colors. I don't know if that's on her model or not. And then there's 4 tassels in the back that look like this and like this. Again, all printed design. The print looks beautiful. These nice gradients. I think print sometimes is kind of the only way to go with these crazy designs. So here's the bow. It is a really stiff fabric. Like, there is definitely a lot of like buckram and interfacing in here, which is great. This bow is going to keep its very lovely shape. It's got different layers with more printed design. This nice little flap in the middle with this little shape, and then this isn't a tassel. This is just a strip of that red cording, which I find a little strange. I don't know if it's supposed to be a tassel or not. I think I would have really preferred if they would have just made this a tassel, but instead it's just that. But yeah, this is printed on, again, gold leather detail. This is, again, just craft foam. It's seriously like unpainted, unprimed craft foam. That is my biggest issue with a lot of this stuff, is the fact that it's just this cheap craft foam. It has these strings that I originally thought were to tie it around the waist, but in fact they actually just dangle. There's just a regular like paracording. Actually, this is just a twill tape. This is literally just white twill tape. There's a cording with a brown cording with a gold bead accent detail piece that looks like that. And then there's like a silky ribbon with just a gold bead tied on the end. But my favorite thing about this bow is a lot of times when you get bows like these Velcro or safety pin on, and I hate that. It's like impossible to put on yourself, especially if you're like me and have a lot of issues with like arthritis in your hands or mobility issues in your hands. Sometimes it's really hard to do by yourself, and sometimes it really hurts. However, they do one of my favorite tricks. It has a loop of wire. This is literally just a loop of a really nice sturdy wire that they covered in like a silicone tubing, so you don't have raw wire like touching your skin, which is really nice. And because it's like really stiff, I did bend it a little bit to curve along my back. Basically, you just, my wig's out of the way, you just slide it into the obi and it holds itself in place. And then you don't have to worry about it. It's in there really secure as long as the obi is nice and tight. And then it's just there. It's hard to see with the cosplay on, so I'll show you some like up close footage as I talk. There is an elastication along the back, which is really nice. It makes it a little bit more diverse for every person, so it can fit snug to everybody. And then it does zip up on the side. The zipper is a little whatever. Also, it does come with a pair of like white spandex shorts, because she does wear white spandex. You do see her wear white shorts under her thing. They do fit me, however, they're a little snug because I have large thighs, and they're pretty transparent. It just comes with white spandex. White is just a transparent fabric color almost always. Also, white just doesn't look flattering on me. In fact, white spandex shorts don't really look good on anybody. It's not their fault she has this design. That's just, it's not for me. I'm literally wearing just black shorts under this instead because I don't care enough. Overall though, for the most part, this cosplay is made incredibly well. There's a few stitching issues I have in some places. There's some white thread that was used on the brown parts that's pretty noticeable. There are also some like loose threads here and there that just, you can tell they didn't take the extra time and care to snip them off. As long as things aren't falling apart, that's on no one. It's fine. It's not the biggest of deals for me. Craftsmanship is otherwise, for the most part, really good. Most of the stitching looks really nice. It needed a massive ironing. That's the only problem with the polyester, is that the stuff wrinkles like nobody's business, so you really need to iron it if you're going to take photos. Big pro tip, iron your dang cosplays, because nothing is more jarring than seeing a really beautiful cosplay photo and the cosplayer looks great, but I can see grids of creases in their cosplays where they clearly just took it out of the bag and never ironed it. Please iron your cosplay, I'm begging you. I very much want to thank LaMail for sending me this cosplay. It's seriously though astounding. I'm very excited to wear it and do a shoot for it. If you guys want to check out LaMail yourself, I do have a referral link that I will put down below. It'll be in a pinned comment. Also, it'll be in the description. So clicking the referral link does help me, and if you decide to purchase anything, I really do recommend these wigs. You can use a code that they also were kind enough to give me for you guys to use. This shall be the code that will also be linked in the description. So if you want to try and help me out, please click the referral link and feel free to use the code. It does help me out so I can hopefully then make more videos like this kind for you. It's hard to make cosplay videos without cosplay to do. I have a spooky ooky themed Halloween video for this year. I've never actually done a Halloween video on this channel before, and I'm really excited to do one. I am going to be cosplaying a character I've been wanting to cosplay for a really long time, and hopefully you guys will also like it. It'll just be a quick makeup video and something crazy. With that, I'm gonna go photos and maybe make some 3 TikToks because I couldn't find audios that fit Miko to save the life of me. If you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, since I don't post here that often because I'm lazy, I'm most active on Twitter, which is my username @Velesti_. Otherwise, you can also follow me over on Instagram, which is @Velesti_ as well. I do try and post on my story. I don't post as frequently there, just because I don't usually have content to post. I don't take a lot of selfies, and literally every photo I've taken recently turns out to be blurry, and I don't notice until after I take off the cosplay. You have a TikTok that I still use as well, which is @_Velesti, because I still can't get my old username back. They still say that username is being used. And they never will ever unban me on that account for some reason, because it's been like 2 or 3 years, but you know, life sucks. But with that, I'm gonna head out. See you guys.